just bought this 2-bedroom house behind me for £80,000. We're gonna convert it into a 3-bedroom house and push the value up to £150,000. Let's go through, we'll check it out. So guys, we're just standing inside of the living room right now. Pretty spacious, decent size. A little bit of work needing done to it. So we're gonna change the floorings completely. We're gonna skim the Artex in the ceiling. The walls, don't need too much work to it. I'll say just a little wall paint right here. To be fair, there is a little bit of, I wanna call it damage, but you can see right here, there's like some mad stains going on over here. We don't know if the person used to smoke over here. We've got the log burner over here. Nice little add-on, nice little feature. All round, to be fair, we wouldn't need to do that much work to the property. That's the big part of the reason why the upfront refurb cost is quite low. We're looking roughly at around £21,000 for the refurb for the whole house. Kitchen is semi-okay. The last owners put some new cupboards in there, so we're gonna keep that as it is. Obviously change the floors, do up the walls, make it look pretty decent. We're just standing inside of one of the bedrooms right now. As I mentioned before, we're going to be looking to turn this property into a 3-bedroom house. It's currently a 2-bed. How we're going to do it is this whole room right here is going to be split into 2. The reason why we're able to do that is, first, it's got 2 windows. This is something that we look for so that each room can have its own window. And where I'm standing at right now, this is roughly where it's going to be split. It's going to be running across the wall right there. We're going to knock off this built-in wardrobe, allow this to be a decent sized single room. And for this room right here, what we're going to have to do, on the other side is another bedroom. So we're going to have to take some space from the other bedroom, knock off the wall, push it back a little bit to give it a little bit more space for this room right here to be a decent sized double room. So Liam, do you want to let the people know how we came across this particular property right here?
So we do a lot of direct to vendor advertising, and also we have really good links with agents. So one of these ones was a probate property. So we get either the first call from the agents to make sure that we're in and buying these probate properties, or we're doing our direct to vendor advertising campaigns. So we've got various channels from leaflets, we've got direct mail, we've got paid advertising. So we've got a lot of various different methods. That's just some of the few that we use. And that allows us to get access to some of these properties. Now, it allows us to come in, buy them cash and go in very quickly, which gives people the certainty that the sale is going to happen, right? So they're looking for the speed and certainty. That's what we're able to provide. If they wanted to, they could go on the open market. That's not a problem. But for the type of people who are looking for this, they're looking for the speed, which a lot of the other house buyers can't really do, because if you're buying your first property or whatever it is, you got to go through your mortgages, you got to go through all this different stuff. So it allows us and affords us an opportunity to come in quickly, which really helps them and also gets a good deal for us.
So this is the 2nd bedroom right here. What we're gonna do, a piece of this bedroom right here, a small part of it, is going to be pushed into the other side just to make the other bedroom a little bit bigger, and this could be a decent sized double room right here. And of course, we've got a nice sized toilet, very dated, very old. To be fair, it's big enough to be its own bedroom, but we're just keeping this as a bathroom for now. Just in the garden right now, as you can see, it's in a little bit of a state, quite bushy of course, but the bonus is we've got 2 pretty decent sized storage units / sheds just in the back right there as well.
Yeah, the benefit is that we can use these for additional storage. So for the area, we can look at doing Airbnb, and we could have those as potentially bike sheds that we could use. So that would add to the kind of appeal for the Airbnb listing as well. The other thing about the garden is when we're looking at valuations on where it will be, they're not really looking at the garden. So if you were looking at reselling the property, if you're going to flip it, but as Yusuf is looking at holding this property, it's not going to be as much of an issue. But for revaluation, making sure that we think, okay, this garden, we'll keep it as low maintenance as possible, strip out the rest of the kind of weeds and the bushes and everything like that, just tidy it up. But overall, it'll look pretty nice. Airbnb, maybe want to go on very low maintenance. Of course, you don't want to be in there trying to have to do this over and over again, and the costs just obviously incrementally creep up.
Yeah, what I would say as well, the really good thing about this garden is that the views right now that we're looking at is pretty amazing. Like, we can see the hills, the valleys just right in front of us right here. Very beautiful, very spectacular, and you know what I mean? Like, what can you say?
Yeah, man.
You know,
there is a hidden beauty to Wales that. Yeah, it gets you, especially from London, man. You don't get this.
No, you don't. So we've done our research in this specific area. We've looked at 3 beds and how much they've been sold for in the past, and typically they've gone from anywhere between 140,000 to 160,000 pounds for 3 beds being sold in this area. So if we're looking at the average after the refurb of this property right here, we could be getting it to 150,000 pounds in value on average, based on, you know, the historical data for this area of how much 3 beds are being sold for. Which means if I chose to flip this property on and sell it after we've done up all the work, that leaves me with 38,000 pounds in profit that I could be making if I chose to flip this property. So in terms of the total amount that we're looking to spend on this property right here, the purchase price is 80,000 pounds that was spent. If we're talking about legal fees, stamp duty, and also the sourcing fee as well. Now, it was our sourcing company that sourced this property, so obviously we're not paying the full sourcing fee, of course. That comes to 90,000 pounds. Now, the total refurb cost that's going to go into this property is 21,000 pounds. That's going to bring the total cost of this property right here to 111,000 pounds that we're going to be investing into this property.
So one of the things you can do, I know that Yusuf is going to be holding the property and he's obviously purchasing cash. What you can do is, if you want to accelerate your portfolio, you can then go and refinance that, pulling 75% of the money out on a loan to value basis. So that means whatever you end up as the end value, pulling 75% of that money out, and then you can put that towards your next property. So there are other options that you can choose depending on your situation.